The Pocket. There were rumours going round about some abandoned old silo that looms over the woods. The woods were located in the middle of a field, just dirt alongside the railroad tracks. Not like anyone cares. It's an eerie sight with just, sitting there looming over the woods with rust trailing down the sides. Anyways, some rumoured it to be haunted by some old farmer who hung himself in the silo and takes his revenge on anyone who enters. I say this rumour is complete bullshit, especially when the ones spreading the rumours tried to back up their story with some stupid kids who were curious and went in the silo, never to come back out. Others say the silo is just a good hangout spot where people would never find them. So both positive and negative comments, my geek band of friends and I decided to check it out. We decided to enhance the creepiness by choosing to visit the silo on a gloomy and cloudy day. So the day came, and my friends Pete, Meg and Wes met at my house, since it was alongside the railway. We walked along the railway, talking and laughing, having ourselves a good time. Until we saw it. The silo was, of course, just sitting there, looming tall over trees. Curious, we walked towards it as our laughter, along with our talking, died down. The closer we got, and the colder it felt, as if there was some sort of cold, dark aura radiating from it. It's sending shivers down my spines. Hell! Wes even let out a small little yelp. We paced round the circumference of the silo, looking for an entrance, some sort. We ended up finding a ladder leading up to the silo. The rungs of the ladder were also handles to open the hatches along the side of the structure. All were locked except for one, though it was stuck, so we had Pete climb up and open the hatch. Within a few minutes, we were inside the silo, standing on the hay left in there. In the centre, there was a large hole, deep in the hay. It was dark, but we could hear a steady flow of air coming from the bottom. Oddly enough, there was a rope descending into the hole. Since I was the only one smart enough to actually be prepared for this, I took out my flashlight. Holding the flashlight in my mouth, I began to descend. I dropped down to the bottom, scanning the small area. Everything seemed safe. I looked at the scattered hay, dirt, and also another particular hatch. I beckoned for the others to come down. As they descended, my eyes caught something covering the rope. The colour of it was red. But I hid my panic and showed the others the hatch I found. Pete opened it, revealing a dark hole. Now, the fucked up thing about that was it reeked of death. The others had sensed it too, and of course, Wes had whimpered like a little bitch. Meg ended up gaining the courage to take my flashlight and go into the hole first. We followed her and walked through this dark tunnel for about 10 to 15 minutes, until Meg had told us we reached another hatch, and she opened it. A bright light had filled the tunnel, and that's when we heard it. A piercing shriek, followed by the sounds of something running, panting hard in desperate attempt to avoid the creature that had made that horrific shriek. We ran. We were out of the tunnel. We slammed the hatch shut, attempting to lock it. The sound had stopped, and breathing a sigh of relief, all of us observed our current surroundings. We were in a concrete block, which appeared to be an old septic tank, but with an opening at the top, and through that opening we could see the forest above. We began to climb out, and then it happened again. We heard that damn sound again. Wes wasn't even out of the hole yet. Poor Wes. This creature slammed through the hatch, and a sharp claw clawed hand reached out and grasped Wes's leg tight, pulling him down the tunnel. We heard his terrified screams, and then suddenly it stopped. We heard the sharp snapping of bones and the tearing of flesh. The rest of us were frozen in shock. The sound of Wes being killed was revolting. Meg ended up vomiting at the sound. After that, we tried to find our way out of the thicket. We searched for a way out, at least for an hour. But we concluded that the forest was enclosed in a large perimeter of barbed wire fencing. We panicked, having no idea what we should do, and also realizing that the thing comes out in the dark. Night was coming fast, and in a desperate panic, Meg climbed high into a tree, hoping the thing wouldn't find her. Pete found a small hole in the ground to hide in. Bad idea. Again, we heard the shriek, and I watched the thing climb out of its home. In my panic, I quickly climbed up a tree and watched Pete sitting in the hole. I also, to my regret, had got a better look at the creature we were facing. It was the most grotesque thing I've ever seen. Its face was mask-like, pale white against its dark skin. The face seemed only to have two dark holes for eyes, and a large smile stretched across the face. After a few moments of observation, I had soon noticed that it was a mask made from Wes's skinned face. I was scared shitless as the thing crawled towards Pete. I sat in the tree as I watched Pete run in fear, but that was no use. The thing caught up to him instantly. It shoved both hands through Pete's chest and tore him apart with ease. Oh God. Its chest opened, revealing bloody tendrils. It was wrapped around Pete's head, tearing it off from his mutilated corpse, slowly pulling it into its empty captivity, and sealed it shut. The skinned face of Wes disintegrated and quickly replaced with a mask from Pete. With the small hollow eyes and screwed up smile, then it spoke in a soft, raspy voice. I am the pocket. It proceeded to crawl into its dwelling. From the other tree, I heard Meg crying. I beckoned her to climb down. As I climbed down myself, I told her we were getting the hell out of this place alive. Hesitantly, she climbed down, and I went up the barbed wire fence and gripped the sharp wire, spreading it wide enough for someone to climb through. My hands bled, but I ignored the pain as Meg climbed through the opening again. The pocket shrieked, and in my panic I hastily crawled through the opening and I cut myself up bad. Bleeding, I ran with Meg and ignored the pain, running until we had reached civilization once again. 10 years had passed. Meg and I were happily married. I say were for a reason. The same reason why I'm telling you this story today. Meg is dead. She died a horrible death. So horrible. The police were called to the scene. After a couple going for a walk through the woods, found her mutilated, headless corpse laying at the edge of the woods. When I said the word edge, that I mean that it is far from the barbed wire fence. This can only mean that the pocket is free from its prison. It's free and it's coming straight for me. I know it is. This is horrible. Right now, I'm looking at our marriage picture, trying to calm myself down with the happy memories. It didn't help, because in the reflection of the glass, I saw a face slowly coming towards me. Meg's face, only it was eyeless. It had that damn terrifying smile. The pocket, it's here. It's come to take me. I feel its hand pierce through my chest at this moment. I realise its prime motive. It killed to free people from that hell that now exists in the world, and I earned the privilege to be freed. I smile.